Good morning. How are you this morning? Hope you're having a great start to your day. No Viderma here in Sudbury this morning. And I'll just wait, as I always do, as we get ready for question and answer Friday. And Nick's on with us. Mike, I better put my glasses on because I won't be able to see. Rosalinda from Niagara Falls. And Nativity, good morning to you. Kevin from Oshawa. Nice to have you guys on this morning. Lori Lee. Appreciate it. Corey. Nice to have you guys. Always our faithful watchers, listeners. Janine and Claudette. And let's see here, Francis from Sturgeon. Nice to have you on. Mary Jane from Connecticut. Lise, good morning to you. Wendy, good morning, Wendy. And we appreciate you guys very much. Dave from Windsor. And Dale, good morning. Doris, we appreciate it. Zian, go Habs, go. I got my Habs shirt on. See that, guys? Okay? For those who are going to listen to this on a podcast, I had to wear my Habs sweater on. Kim, good morning. Chantal, nice to have you on with us. Good. Vince. And I'll say hello to a few more and then we'll get going. We've got a lot of questions here. Nellie, good morning to you. And Jeanette, much appreciated. Good morning, Yolande. How are you? Allison. Okay, so let's get going and I'll come on and say hi to the rest of you. Somebody asked a question this morning and I don't have a name here to it, but they asked a question this morning about cancer. And I think it was breast cancer, and asking, I've heard that, a lot of people will say, well, don't eat red meat because that is inflammatory. Well, no, red meat would be anti-inflammatory. What causes inflammation in the body? I mean, there's several reasons for it, but in food, what causes inflammation in food? Sugar, crappy carbohydrates. Why is that? Because they will elevate your insulin. And when you develop insulin resistance, you're going to create inflammation in the body. So when you want anti-inflammatory foods, one of them would be red meat, eggs, cheese. These are anti-inflammatory foods. Why? Because they lower your insulin response. So anyone that has cancer, two things for sure you want to do. Lower your insulin, that's food. And lower your estrogen. That's a hormone, the womanly hormone. Because insulin and estrogen are growth hormones. Okay? They help tumors grow. So when you go on the internet, and I want you to do that. I want you to research. Understand that I'm in disagreement with most of the gurus out there. And in my opinion, it's not science when they tell you, well, those are inflammatory. Why is a piece of red meat, why is steak inflammatory? And I asked the other question. Why is steak, I use the word vitamin S, you know that with me. Why is that acidic? I'd like to know. Okay? I'd like to know. It's acidic, doc. It's inflammatory. No. Because your body has baking soda, sodium bicarbonate. If something is acidic, like a tomato, we'd all agree a tomato is acidic, right? But when it gets into your gut, it's not acidic. It's alkalized. Why? Because of sodium bicarbonate. And to me, it's very simple. What is acidic is sugar. What is inflammatory is sugar and crappy carbohydrates. Because they elevate, the crappy carbs are not only elevating your insulin, they're elevating your inflammation because of the crappy oils, the omega-6. And look, there's some omega-6, all right, but it's when you get out of balance, and now we're at 20, 30 to 1 with these omega-6 oils compared to omega-3. So, guys, like, I'm sorry, but if, you know, I think I did a teaching once, well, I did it more than once, but on cancer, like, you've got to lower certain hormones. You don't want any growth hormones. As much as you can, lower those growth hormones. Wendy's asking a good question that'll go along with this. How to get rid of free radicals? Well, free radicals are oxidative damage. It's rusting out of your cells. Now, you can't get rid of free radicals completely. The day you're born, you're creating free radicals. Okay? They're a molecule that has lost an electron, and they like kamikaze pilots. You're born to age. It's just the way it is. I don't care how much Botox you use. I don't care how much anti-aging stuff you do. Hey, it helps, but you're not going to stop the process. You just can't stop it completely. It's called free radical damage, okay? So there's actual free radicals, and then the other day I was talking to you about glycation and glycation end products. And again, what causes that more than anything else? Sugar. Sugar. What do you take what is the best antioxidant? Well, you know me, vitamin C, coffee. It's better than the other vitamin C. And my favorite is pine bark extract. It is the most powerful antioxidant in the world. I've written many, many, many books about that with lots of testimonies. So, okay? So, listen, I appreciate the questions. Don't, but you have to understand where I'm going to come from. I'm going to come right back at you with trying to separate the fluff from the truth. Because, like I said, I Googled it this morning. Said, oh, yeah, let me just see what's out there. Cancer. Don't eat red meat. I feel sorry for red meat. Boy, has it been vilified. It's been vilified, but it's not true. It's not right. It's not science. It really isn't. I'm a food guy. And I'm just going to tell you what the truth is. Okay? Kathy, does bleeding gums have to do with gut bacteria? Yes. Yes. One of the things in bleeding gums is the presence of bacteria. in the gum line, and the presence of, in my opinion, again, fungus, candida gets in there. See, don't, the mouthwashes and all this and that, don't overdo it with that. Especially, don't kill all that bacteria. Remember, don't overdo it. You're much better to use oil of oregano. You got bleeding gums, because oil of oregano is not only antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. That's why I love brushing the teeth with oil of oregano. Put a couple of drops. I like our spray it, and brush the teeth. Okay? But yeah, it has to do with the gut, because leaky gut, I never even talk about this really, but thank you very much this morning, Kathy, because you're reminding me. Leaky gut, leaky lungs, leaky gut, leaky skin, leaky gut, leaky brain, leaky gut, leaky joints, leaky gut, leaky gums. I like that. I forgot about that. I'm stealing that off of you, Kathy. Okay? Yes, there's a big connection. All your bacteria talk to each other. They communicate from the brain to the gut, from the mouth to the gut. The gut is home headquarters for bacteria. But you got bacteria everywhere. And it's good, bad, and ugly. CR, my daughter brought up the point that cow's milk is designed for growing babies. Yeah, but listen. I get that, because again, that if you go, and again, a lot of gurus will tell you don't drink milk, and I'm one of them. Don't go to the grocery store and buy milk. I don't want you drinking that, because, we did something, was it Monday? Don't ditch dairy. Did you like that? The 3 Ds. Don't ditch dairy. I don't want you to ditch dairy. I want you to switch dairy. Okay? I don't want you to ditch it. I want you to switch it. How do you like that this morning? Getting all these little rhymes. Don't ditch dairy. Dairy has a lot of good things in it. So don't ditch it. Switch it. And one of the things I like about dairy is CLA. Okay? Conjugated linoleic acid. Now say that fast 3 times. But CLA is really important for your body. It's a tremendous fatty acid. It's found in dairy. Why is it so good for you? It's good for your brain. It's good for your heart. It's tremendous, okay? So when someone tells you, yes, milk, of course, but that would be the same for goat milk, wouldn't it? Like if you're saying there's growth hormones in it, yeah, what's wrong with that? Like dairy, like I say, I want you to switch. I don't want you to drink skim milk, 1%, 2%. If you got a cow in the backyard, drink milk. Otherwise, I want you to have some, make sure there's enough fat in milk. High fat milk is good for you. But as you get older too, look at, you know me and drinking. What do I want you to drink? Water, no juice, Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie. Have that. It's a meal replacement. You want kids to have nutrition, give them Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie. They need fat for the development of their brain. And with my favorite protein powder, bone broth, because it's collagen protein. I love it. Okay? But I'm big on drinking water and coffee. That's what I want on the reset. People were asking me about almond milk, and why do you want that stuff? Okay, coconut milk, yes, better, but pure coconut milk, not the crap that's in the market most times. Okay, anyway, but look, humans don't require it. Well, if you have the right type of milk, it's good for you. And, I got no problem. Like I say, I don't want you to ditch dairy. I want you to switch dairy. And make sure you're eating a lot of cheese. Carolyn, if someone's grinding their teeth at night, can that be low magnesium? Possibly, but it's probably more that they have parasites. I got to do a show on parasites. I haven't done one in years on parasites. And we need to talk about that. But grinding of the teeth is often the fact that you have parasites. Meta, how does vitamin D get to the gut when applied to the skin as a patch? Well, look, you absorb vitamin D two ways, okay? The sun on your skin. And guess what you need here on your skin? Good amounts of it to take vitamin D right in off the sun, okay? Viderma. What do you need on your skin? You need cholesterol. Now, if you take a supplement of vitamin D, it's synthesized in your small intestine with cholesterol too. Okay, and bile. Okay, from your liver to your gallbladder. Then if you don't have a gallbladder, you're still producing bile. So these are needed to absorb vitamin D. But there's two ways. One is from the sun, Viderma. You're getting your skin exposed to the sun. It's the best way to get vitamin D, by the way. It is. Okay? Now, someone is asking, let me get to another question because I will take this together here. Somebody about vitamin D again. Oh yeah, Donna. Doctor put me on D2 and D3, vitamin D. Don't take vitamin D2. You don't absorb it. Stop it, Donna. You don't need it. Take vitamin D3, okay? Take vitamin D3. That's the one your body absorbs. That's what you get when you get in the sun is vitamin D3. D2 is what they add to fortified foods like cereal or bread or whatever. You don't even absorb that stuff, vitamin D2. So, if they gave you that, unless they're in the same capsule. But to me, I don't like it. Now, should I continue vitamin D? Now my level is at 90. Okay, if you're in the United States, Canada, Donna, that's still low. It's normal, but it's low. You need to get in around 150, 200. Okay, vitamin D levels in Canada. Okay, and above 60 in the United States. Okay, to my American friends. You want to optimize your vitamin D. Okay, so I'm just saying this. Physicians, look at vitamin D for osteoporosis. They look at it for bones. But vitamin D, as you guys well know, is important for everything. Every cell in your body has a solar panel attached to it. It's looking for vitamin D, especially your immune system, especially your T cells. You need vitamin D. Okay? You need vitamin D. Please. Okay, let's go back here. Okay. Olive is asking, I take your brain formula and the brain fog has lifted. Good for you. Looking at choline, it's a byproduct. It seems to be a byproduct of sunflower oil. Look, I like seeds, okay? And the one seed I like is flaxseed. You know me because flaxseed has 100 times more lignans, L-I-G-N-A-N-S, lignans, than any other seed. But not the oil. I don't, like when you have the seed, of course you're going to have the oil. But don't just take oil, like sunflower oil or even hemp seed oil or whatever. Eat the seed. Now, you're asking the question, okay, Olive, choline. Choline is found in eggs, meat, and cheese. It's hardly in the plant kingdom. That's why one of the best things about eating an egg is you get choline. You need choline. That's an essential amino acid. It's found in the animal kingdom. It's hardly in a plant. You got enough choline in a plant for a mouse, and you're not a mouse. You need choline from eggs, meat, and cheese. Okay? So good question, Olive. Kathy, skin bumps that are hard on the face and under the hair, are they related to the gut? Yep, anything on the skin, pretty well, go to the gut. You got some form of leaky gut, maybe candida, fungus, body trying to get rid of it. Your body's smart, tries to eliminate things off your skin. Okay, look to the gut, probiotics, broad spectrum. No name. Okay. Why have I noticed internal temperatures going up after taking hormonal support? Well, that can happen. I mean, look, there's a lot of things going on. I mean, I'd have to take a whole session, no name, because, look, hormones, ladies, hormones for a lot of women is an imbalance, but there's a lot of things going on. Your body temperature going up is thyroid. Now, usually what I'm doing with the hormonal support, I actually took some for me this morning, okay? Why would I take hormonal support? Because I'm trying to lower my estrogen. Okay? Why? Prostate. Men get prostate trouble because they're too much of a woman. They have too much estrogen. They got more estrogen than their wives. But women, oftentimes you have estrogen dominance. You say, well, doc, I'm getting older. Why would I have more? It's all in comparison to your progesterone. And that, like estrogen, progesterone needs to be equal because that affects the top of the pyramid, your thyroid gland, your body temperature, your body weight, your hair. All these things can be affected. Men, we just worry about our prostate as far as hormones and testosterone, of course. Ladies, you're very complex. God made you complicated. Not weird. I don't use that word. Complicated. Okay. Oh, can an 11-year-old take hormonal support? Yes, for sure, if they're symptomatic. Look, you know what? I got 8-year-olds coming into my office in my clinic days, and their hormones, oh no, at 8, stink. The poor kid, I'd look at the kid, that poor little girl, and I'd say, oh, isn't this fun? I said, I'm glad you came to see me when you're young, because I'm going to fix this for you, okay? Poor little darling. Nah, really, because there's so much estrogen in the world today. Everything that's plastic, everything that's, and you can be the canary in the coal mine. These poor 8-year-olds that had too much estrogen, for heaven's sakes, okay? Can you slow osteoporosis with supplements? Yeah, vitamin D. Look, Osteoporosis is not a lack of calcium. Guys, I love calcium, okay? I mean it. Not in a supplement. Calcium is meant to be eaten, and you get lots of it if you eat eggs, meat, and cheese. There's a lot of calcium there. The nice thing is when you eat cheese, especially, and butter, you've got vitamin K2. What does K2 do? It takes the calcium and puts it in your bones where it belongs. The problem with a calcium supplement ain't going to get to your bones. It doesn't get there. It stays in your bloodstream. You don't want calcium in your bloodstream. You want calcium in your bones and in your teeth. Okay? So how do you slow osteoporosis? Well, first of all, get in shape. Ladies, switch your exercise. You want to walk? Good for you. But there's nothing better you're going to do for osteoporosis than get some weights, sun, steak, and steel. I love that. Sun, steak, and steel is going to help your osteoporosis. Weights or bands or, the stretching bands. Exercise, do steel weights. And when I mean weights, I mean you can stretch it out and get strong, build muscle. There's nothing that strengthens your bone more than when you attach muscle to it. The more you stretch on that muscle, the more the bone solidifies. That's the problem with women and osteoporosis more than men. Men get it too, but it's more of a women's disorder. There's hormones involved and lots of stuff, okay? But eat your eggs, meat, and cheese. Sickle cell disease. Marnie's asking about that. Well, it's a big thing, especially amongst the African American, sickle cell anemia and that. Sickle cell is when the cell is deformed, the red blood cell. It can't carry as much oxygen. And the other thing it does, it gets very sticky. And it sticks to so one of the things you need to do, and this is important, vitamin W, water. And what I give in sickle cell is blood boost. Build their hemoglobin levels, their oxygen levels in the red blood cells, okay? Because they're often very, very low in that. Coleman, what ingredients in moisturizers? Well, I got a list of 1,000, so I'm not... Look, if you can't pronounce it, look at our Rivera. No chemicals, no nothing. Pine bark extract, I love that. Hyaluronic acid, I love that. Okay? The other vitamin E, okay, on the skin. And you better work inside out too, okay? Always start on the inside for skin. Start on the inside, and I put Rivera on my skin every day, okay? Coconut oil is good too. I like coconut oil. MSM, okay? You mean mainstream media? Sorry. A supplement required for MSM. Well, MSM is a compound that you found in the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. So your body will take it in if you eat. You don't need to do a supplement of MSM. Okay? You really don't. I've seen it. You know what I mean? Like you're better off, to eat it. Eat it. It's in the plants and it's in the animal kingdom. So you don't need it as a supplement. There are a lot better supplements than MSM. Douglas, if a person has metabolic syndrome, can they absorb vitamin D? Well, not as well. Not as well. But again, when you have metabolic syndrome, it's usually, the number one thing is insulin. So food is really important. But more important in relationship to vitamin D and absorption is for your gut to be in good shape. So you want to be sure you're taking probiotics. That's one of the best way to absorb it, okay? But metabolic syndrome does affect that. Leaky gut affects that. Okay, Al, how do you get your dopamine and serotonin levels up? Well, probiotics. You got more serotonin and dopamine in your gut than you have in your brain. So probiotics is the answer. Get rid of leaky gut. And don't feed the bears down there. The sugars feeds Candida. Candida is the invasive third army, will mess up your hormones in your gut, the feel-good hormones in your gut. Okay, Anita asking about pumpkin seed oil to inhibit DHT for hair loss. Nah, no. Well, maybe, I don't know. I find, go on our website, Anita, and look at our hair formula. And you see the ingredients there? You're not going to beat that, in my opinion. Okay? And go and look at the testimonies. Because we got a real clinic with real people and real testimonies. So I never found pumpkin seed oil to be anything really good for that. Not in my opinion, anyway. Mary, what is a typical day for Dr. Martin eating? Eggs, meat, and cheese. If there's anyone that eats more meat than me, I'd like to meet them. Okay? I'd like to meet them. Steak, roast beef, hamburger, and the odd day some chicken. And chicken and salad. Not often. Salad is overrated. Okay? Mary, salad is overrated. Look, I know you ladies like your salad. I know. But guys, what do I start my day with? Bacon and eggs and sausages. Somebody asked me the other day, don't you get tired of that? Why would I get tired of it? Do I get tired of drinking? I've been drinking coffee since I'm 15 years old. I need it every day. Vitamin C. Why would I stop? What do you mean get tired of it? I don't get tired of eggs. I don't get tired of bacon. I said to a lady the other day, aren't you tired of cereal? Oh, Dr. Martin, I got to have my oatmeal. Every day. Otherwise, I don't go to the bathroom. You know what I think about that? Nah, you get tired. Do I ever get tired of steak? No. I don't. I've been eating steak all my life. I told you about my dad when he found out he was a diabetic in 1967, 68. My dad had steak, it seemed, 6 nights a week. He'd have a separate meal from us when he came home from the clinic. My mother would make him steak. I said, Dad, you ever get tired of it? Nah. He said, why? I said, Dad, why are you eating that? Because I'm a diabetic. I can't eat what you guys are eating. I got to eat steak. Okay. He was light years ahead of his time. Okay? So, a typical day for me is I'm a big egg eater, meat eater, and cheese eater. I really am. Now, do I have carbs? Yep. My wife's Italian, for heaven's sakes. But when she makes her spaghetti sauce, guys, I'm telling you, You die for them. Okay? Rosie makes her spaghetti. But I don't live on the noodles, guys. I don't live on that. I live on the meat. I live on the meat. Give me the meat in that sauce. Give me the sausage in there. My wife, I love the Italian. But guys, I don't live on the noodles. And you can switch your noodles. You know that. So, look, I'm not telling you to leave the planet, guys. I'm not telling you that. For the reset, you should. Go on another planet for the reset, because you're going to just about have to, because you can't have any carbohydrates. But that's for 30 days, and some people, they're eating like that all the time. What did I tell you the other day? I'm not a carnivore. I'm a nutrivore. Did you like that? We had some good things this week. Nutrivore. Okay? Nutrivore. I like that. Viderma. I like that too. Don't ditch your dairy. I like that too. I like when I get little sayings, because then I never forget them. And too bad for you, because I'm going to repeat them. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay. Good questions, guys, by the way. How to gain weight. Brett's asking how to gain weight healthily. You know what? That's a good question. For the small percentage of people who are trying to gain weight. There are people trying to gain weight. But guys, don't just eat crappy food, because it doesn't matter. You can be as skinny as a rake and the most unhealthy person. The key to gaining weight healthily is to eat the food that has to be king is protein. It's the king of the castle. When you want to lose weight, it's the king of the castle. Isn't that something? But when I say protein, I mean protein and fat. The way protein is supposed to be in nature. Eggs. Okay? Now just listen to me for a sec. You have 3 macros. Protein, fat, carbohydrate. They're called macros. 3 macros. Okay? In nature, think about it. Think about what I'm going to say. God wants you to eat eggs, meat, and cheese. Why is that? Because then you're going to get protein and fat. And, see the third one? No carbs. A little bit, but no carbs. Eggs, meat, and cheese. Now, does that mean all carbs are bad? Nope. Don't mean that at all. But if you want to gain weight healthily, you must be a nutrivore and get the nutrition your body needs, not calories. Got it? There's going to be a lot more calories in eggs and meat and cheese. There's a lot of calories there. But that's not important. That isn't even important at all. Whether you are losing weight or gaining weight. Because your body knows what to do when you give it the right fuel. I never start a person with a weight loss program. Never, without fixing what's wrong. You have to fix. Ladies, you better fix your hormones. And one of the ways to do it is to eat like a nutrivore. Okay? Eat like a nutrivore. Get your nutrition right, because every organ in your body, including your thyroid, including your ovaries, including your adrenals, including your brain, where it all comes from, headquarters, need good nutrition, complete nutrition. Okay? Whether you're gaining weight or... It ain't calories, guys. It really isn't. You want to cut calories to lose weight? Yeah, you might. But you'll get it back. Why? Because you're going to starve to death with low calories. It's nutrition you need. And last question. Salwahan, probably tortured your name, Salwahan. Sorry about that. Degenerative muscle disease. Well, there's a lot of things that can cause that. Muscles do not degenerate unless you have some type of genetic, usually a problem, neurological problem. Your muscles don't work without headquarters up here, Salawan. So, and one of the things I find that when you get, people that get MS and stuff like that, Parkinson's, and there's a real connection between the brain and your muscles, of course. And guys, one of the things that I'm big on, start with the gut, Salawan. Start with the gut, leaky brain. Usually MS, Parkinson's, what they found, ALS, I believe that's one of the big problems in society today is the amount of ALS, the Lou Gehrig's disease. Guys, that's neurological, muscle, everything wastes away. And I think it's a fungal infection, out of control. It's candida, it's yeast that's gone to the brain, overtakes the synapses, the electricity grid up in the brain, affects the muscles, affects the nerves, and all this and that. So it's sort of autoimmune. Your body has turned on itself, and it starts in the gut. When you have that army, good bacteria, bad bacteria, and then there's an imbalance there in the microbiome, and then you have a fungal infection that gets systemic. It goes everywhere. It can go into your lungs. It can go into your skin. It can go into your joints. But when it gets into your brain, you got a real battle on your hands. So don't feed the bears. Don't feed that third army. I'm big on that. Okay. Guys, thanks for the questions. We appreciate it. You guys are great, by the way. I mean that. I don't know if there's anyone that does a podcast like me on a daily basis and that gets an audience like we have with such good questions. What encouragers you guys are. I thank you for being part of our group, the Martin Clinic group. I mean it. We Tony Jr. and I often talk about this, about how much we appreciate you folks. I mean it. And thank you again for what you've done for the reset, that book. Wow. But guys, I mean it. That book, I'm telling you, the reviews are unbelievable. So thank you again, and continue to listen. We appreciate it, folks. We do. Tell your friends. Share this with people. I know I'm against the grain a little bit, and I understand that, and I'm controversial. I listened to a radio show the other day, and the guy said, what did he always finishes off with, yeah, but we're telling you the truth. So what can I say? Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.